My name is Calliope, and I'm going to be assisting you with your lucid dreaming sleep therapy session this evening. How are you feeling this evening? Okay, well, I hope that we can make you very comfortable, very cozy. I hope that we can make you feel safe and right at home today. So I just want to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind, before we really get into our session today. Firstly, would you mind just confirming your name and date of birth for me? Excellent. And is that the preferred name that you go by? Wonderful. All right. So I have just a few simple questions for you. Firstly, are you experiencing any current pain or have any current illness at all? Okay, wonderful. And do you have any allergies at all? Medications, environmental reasons, food, anything of the sort? Wonderful. Perfect. And are you currently taking any medication at all? Excellent. Good to know. So, for our lucid dreaming therapy session today, I'm going to be explaining a little bit about lucid dreaming, about what we're looking for, and we will try to get you real relaxed, real comfortable, and we'll try to get you dreaming here soon, okay? All right. Have any questions for me so far? Okay, excellent. If at any point you have any questions, please let me know, okay? Wonderful. So, do you know what lucid dreaming is? Okay, so lucid dreaming is a dream that you are essentially conscious for. You can either control the dream, you can control your actions, the events. Basically, you're aware of what's going on, and you can change different aspects. Okay, so about 55% of people have experienced at least one lucid dream in their lifetime. That seems somewhat a little low to me, but anyone has the ability to have a lucid dream. However, some people do, some people don't. But in our session today, we're really hoping to up those chances for you, okay? So, lucid dreaming often happens during the REM, or rapid eye movement, portion of sleep. So, REM sleep usually occurs about 90 minutes in when you first fall asleep. And at that point, it goes for about 10 minutes. And your dream cycles, or your sleep cycles rather. So you may only have REM sleep for 10 minutes the first time. But each time you go back into REM sleep, it increases in duration, finally up to an hour. So your REM sleep gets bigger and bigger and bigger as time goes on during the night. So lucid dreaming has also been studied a bit, not as much as you would think. I mean, there's certainly some studies out there, but it's been noted that your brain has different things going on, right? Your brain acts as if it's more conscious than not when you're in a lucid dream. So it's almost like you're not quite awake, but not quite asleep either. You're in that little sweet spot. So lucid dreaming has some benefits, and it does have some drawbacks, and I want to kind of discuss those with you. So the benefits of lucid dreaming is that you can feel a little bit more creative. Oftentimes it aids in creativity, and also if you happen to suffer from nightmares, if you find yourself having a lucid dream that's a nightmare, you can control the narrative and you can make it so it's not so much of a nightmare, right? I personally experience lucid dreams as most of my dreams, really. So some people experience lucid dreams on the regular, but it's not super common. I'm one of those people that have them almost every night, and I used to have a lot of nightmares. Primarily all my dreams were nightmares several years ago, but I got into playing with lucid dreaming a little bit, and that was aided by a professional named the One Lilia, and she was really the gateway into me being able to control my dreams. I had lucid dreams before that, but I couldn't really figure out how to really control them in a way that was productive. So over time, those nightmares have been easier to deal with and easier to turn around, to switch, since I generally give myself a little bit more awareness and know that it's a nightmare, it's not actually happening, and then I change the outcome so that it's not so scary. Okay? So another drawback though, or I didn't talk about the drawbacks yet, a drawback of lucid dreaming is that you can feel more tired because you are more conscious than unconscious, right? So you're not getting that deep, physical, restorative sleep when you're lucid dreaming. So that's going to be a little reduced. Not always do you feel more tired, but your brain is working through a lot more than it usually would. So another thing is sometimes it can also result in more nightmares. So you just have to be aware of that. But as we spoke about before, if you start having a nightmare and it does turn to a lucid dream, if you're more aware of it, you can then change the narrative, change the story, and make it so it doesn't end in a nightmare, okay? And I'll be right here with you. We've got you all hooked up to everything. We'll be able to tell if you're having a nightmare, and if you are, then we can wake you up if you wish, or if you feel like you can go through that, you can let us know, okay? Whatever your preference is. All right. So to get into lucid dreaming, there's a few different ways that you can go about it. So firstly, you can do reality testing, which is some parts of the day when you're awake, if you want to either look at a clock or try to put your finger through something, or just notice if anything looks off. So if you're in a dream, if you try to put your finger through your hand, oftentimes you'll find that your finger will go right through your hand. Or if you look at a clock, you'll notice that the time looks wrong, or that time goes very fast. So there's a few different things that you can look for. You can also see if you're seeing in color. Oftentimes, several dreams can be in only black and white, or they have certain colors, or colors look kind of funny. So if you look around and just note if there's anything weird going on with the color at all, that's another way to test if you're having a lucid dream, if you're dreaming or not. So just kind of looking around and picking out different details and just noting if anything looks off at all or if everything looks real. So another thing you can do is start a dream diary. So when you wake up, whether it's in the middle of the night or in the morning, if you want to write down any dreams that you have or anything that you recall, because that sort of sets the tone for your mind to actively try to remember your dreams. And then when you're more focused on remembering your dreams, it's easier for you to become aware that you are indeed dreaming. And one last little simple thing you can do is you can set an alarm for different parts of the day, or just have different times in mind where you look around and just simply ask yourself if you're dreaming. That's a good thing to pair with the reality testing. So you could ask yourself if you were dreaming and then try to test the reality. And doing that will also help to put the suggestion in your mind that while you're dreaming, that you may ask yourself if you are dreaming and then test the reality. So it's not foolproof, of course, but these little simple techniques can greatly help your chances of having a lucid dream. So, any questions so far? So, yeah, there are other things that can induce lucid dreams. Primarily, we don't want to focus on those right now for our therapy session, but things that affect your dream state. So, for example, like drugs or alcohol can have an influence on your ability to lucid dream or not. So, you haven't been playing with any psychoactive drugs or dabbled in any alcohol in the last 48 hours, have you? Okay, so oftentimes these substances either can make it so you dream much more or you're much more aware of it, or they can also take away. So, for example, alcohol usually tends to make you fall more into a dead sleep, so you don't really experience dreams. Not always, but oftentimes. And marijuana's the same way. Sometimes you find that you don't remember any dreams at all. However, I've had certain times where I've had CBD, and that's made dreams feel a little bit more real. So those kind of substances that play with your brain chemistry a little bit, we want to stay away from those for the moment, okay? All right, so I'm just gonna set our clipboard down here. So now we really want to get into making you as comfortable and as cozy as possible, all right? So I want you to just kind of make a note, scan down your body a bit, and see if there are any points of tension in your body, okay? So you could start either at your head or your feet. I'm going to guide you through a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and start with your feet, okay? So I want you to think about your toes. You can keep your eyes open or closed. So think about your toes. Wiggle them around a little bit and feel for any tension at all in your toes. Feel if there's any tight or tense areas. Wiggle them around a little bit. easy enough? Okay. So now we're going to move on to your feet. So I want you to really focus in on your feet. Bottom of your feet, tops of your feet. Just feel if there are any points of tension. Wiggle your feet around a little bit. And just feel if you can release any of that tension. Okay? So wiggle around a little bit and then relax your feet. We're going to move up to your ankles. So I want you to note if there is any tension in your ankles at all. If there's any way that you can relax your ankles. Maybe roll them around a little bit, roll them a couple times on the outside, roll them towards the inside. Just kind of shake them out a little bit, loosen everything up, right? Just feel for any tension and just make a conscious effort to let that tension go, right? We're going to move to your calves and your shins, your lower legs. And I just want you to note if there is any tension in these areas at all. And you could tense up the muscles a bit if you'd like, tense up your calves, and just flex and relax the muscles. Just wiggle out any tension in these muscles. And then just let them relax, 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 relax. All right. We're going to move to your knees, the joints in your knees. I want you to note if there's any tension at all, you can flex and relax your knees a little bit. Okay? Just note if there's any tension, if there's any way that you can make this area feel less tense and more relaxed. Okay? So just focus on that area and note if there's any way you can relax it. Okay? We're going to move to your thighs. And I want you to just think about your thighs. Think about the muscles in them. This is often a pretty tight, intense place for people. So you can flex and relax the muscles a bit. Clench them real tight and let them go. Okay? Just kind of work the muscles a little bit. Relax any tension that is left in your muscles. Okay? We're going to move up to your butt and your pelvis area. So this is often another pretty tense area if you sit a lot. So just note if there are any tight or tense areas, if your muscles feel locked up or you feel real tight in your hips. I want you to just think about this area. Maybe clench and unclench, flex and relax the muscles in your butt and your hips. And let it all go and make a conscious effort to relax. So now we're going to move up to your stomach area. We're going to start in the front. And I want you to think of your whole abdomen area. And just note if there is any tension at all in your abdomen, in the muscles and all. You could clench and unclench this area a little bit and just feel if there's any way to relax this as much as you can. Okay? Alright, just relax the muscles. Relax your abdomen. Move up to your chest. And I want you to feel if there's any way that you can make yourself feel more relaxed and less tense. So if that is drawing your shoulders back a little bit so that you're really opening up the muscles, the structure here, or just letting your shoulders sink down a little bit so that it's not hitched up to your ears, so that your chest isn't tight and caved in. I want you to just kind of fiddle around in this area, move around a little bit, see if there is a better position for you so that you feel the most relaxed that you can. Okay? We're going to switch around to your back. So we'll start at your lower back. I want you to focus on this area and just feel around to see if there is anything you can do to relax and release the tension in your back. So is it lengthening your spine a little bit, or just sitting or lying down a little differently? See if there's a way that you can relax your lower back as much as possible. Okay? Now I want you to focus on your upper and middle back and just note if there's any places of tension or tightness. And again, kind of move your shoulders around, see if there's anything you can do to release that tension a little bit, right? We're going to move down to your upper arms, and I want you to just focus on your arms and maybe flex the muscles a little bit, clench and unclench them, see if that helps release some of the tension in your muscles, okay? And down to the lower arms here. You can clench and unclench, relax, flex. Just note if there's any tension in these areas and what you can do to make them feel better. And your hands. If there is any tension in your hands, you can squeeze them together, unclench them, flex, relax, move your wrists back and forth, circle your wrists, a little bit back and forth, just doing anything you can to release that tension in your muscle. Okay? Now we'll move on to the neck. I want you to just focus on the neck. Just feel if there is anything you can do to make the neck feel less tense and more relaxed. You can just flex your head a little bit, stretch the neck a little. Does that help some of the tension at all? If you do a couple of circles of your head, just kind of flexing back and forth, does that make it any better? Just do what you can to really relax the neck, okay? And now let's go to your face and your head. I want you to focus on this area, really feel if there is anything at all that you can do to make this area less tense. You relax your face a little bit, relax the tension in your head. Can you maybe adjust your head a little bit so that it's not putting any pressure on any areas of tension? Just make a conscious effort to relax the muscles and release the tension as much as you can. Alright? Okay. if you'd like to, I'd like you to take a few deep breaths with me, alright? Okay, so just do this as long as it's comfortably possible, okay? Alright, take a deep breath in. And out. Deep breath in. And out. Deep breath in. And out. Perfect, perfect, perfect. You're doing really, really well so far. I believe that you have the ability to have a lucid dream. I believe you have the ability to control what goes on in your dream, what your actions are. You can influence the events of the dream. I believe that you have complete control over your dreams, that you are able to do whatever it is that you want to do. I believe that should your dream try to take a more malevolent turn, that you have the ability to stop it and that you have the ability to make it into a much better dream. I believe that you have the ability to get a full, restful sleep full of lucid dreaming adventures that you'll be able to remember tomorrow morning. I believe that you have the ability to have wonderful, pleasant dreams that are fun and exciting while still being able to have a restful and rejuvenative, is that a word? Yeah, rejuvenating sleep. Alright. I believe you have the ability to have a very restful sleep. You have the ability to have wonderful dreams. You have the ability to control your dreams, and you can make them the best that you want them to be. Right? Okay. So, how are you feeling so far? Feeling a little relaxed, a little sleepy? Okay. I want you to start feeling like your body is really heavy. I want you to feel like if you tried to lift up your arm or your foot, that they would be just too heavy to lift. This is a pleasant heaviness. It's a warm sort of feeling. You just feel calm and safe and heavy. Your body just has this warmth to it, this warm and heavy feeling. Your eyes feel very heavy. They feel as if they want to close and stay closed. Your eyes are very, very heavy. They want to close and stay closed. It'd be a really good idea to close your eyes and to keep them closed. Your body feels heavy, your eyes feel heavy, but your mind still feels light. Your mind is still aware, is still attentive. Your body feels warm and heavy and cozy, but your mind is still very aware of of what's going on, is still able to recount, to watch events as they unfold, just sort of observing. There's a peace in your mind while your body is very heavy. Your body is able to rest while your mind is still awake. Your body is able to rest while your mind is still awake. Your body feels very sleepy, very tired, very heavy. So it would be a really good idea for your body to rest while your mind still is awake and aware. You may notice that maybe things feel a little slower, that you are still aware of what's going on, but it has sort of a slowness to it. You can take a few deep breaths if you want to deepen the relaxation. Deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. Your body is able to rest while your mind is still relaxed but is aware of everything that's going on. Your body is able to sleep while your mind is still relaxed and aware. Your body is able to sleep while your mind is relaxed and still aware. So, if you're still aware of what's going on, I want you to just look around in your mind. Are there any places that you're picking up on? Do you recognize where you are at? Are there any features or items that really stand out to you? What are some sounds that you are hearing? What are some smells that you are smelling? Are you able to taste anything? What are you able to see? What are you able to see in your dreamscape? What are you able to see in your dreamscape? Are you able to walk around your dreamscape, whatever place you have conjured up? Are you able to pick up any objects? Are you able to move anything around? If you find that you are able to move freely, if you're able to control what your actions are, what's going on in the dream, if you're able to participate rather than spectate in this dream, then you have found yourself in the realms of lucid dreaming. Your body is resting while your mind is still awake. Your body is resting while your mind is still awake. Can you explore this dreamscape area? You see if there's anything that lies beyond. Are there anything that you notice off the bat that are kind of a dead giveaway to this being a dream? What colors are in this dream? Do all the items and features look realistic? Is there anything that seems contradictory or just a little bit off at all? These are some signs that you are in a lucid dream, that your body is resting while your mind is awake. Body is resting while your mind is still awake. I want you to really be able to relax in this dream. I want you to relax with the thought that you control what's going on, that you control the narrative, you control your actions, the events. You are safe here. This is your dream. You have all the control. You have all the power. This dream is for you and you alone. You can do whatever you want in it. Whether you just wish to peacefully observe, or perhaps go along with whatever narrative the dream is presenting. You are free to do whatever you wish in this dreamscape. I want you to remember that you have the power, you have the ability to have a relaxed and restful sleep while your mind is still awake. You have the ability to have a restful, fulfilling sleep while your mind is still awake. When you do end up waking, I want you to feel refreshed and ready to tackle the next day. I want you to feel fully satisfied in your quality of sleep. I want you to feel like you got more than adequate amount of sleep. That your quality of sleep is more than enough. I want you to enjoy the sleep. Enjoy the sleep. Enjoy your sleep. Enjoy your dream journey. Enjoy everything your mind has to offer.